EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They begin on the ground with Kamara. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins. And they're open to do it. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Brand, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A handoff, McCaffrey running right, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw complete there to Moore. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Touchdown! Ian Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete there to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And this will wind up a Saints first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's
into a sea of defenders and intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And the Panthers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Panthers had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Foreman is in. Touchdown, Carolina. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Tackled by the corner, C.J. Henderson. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Here's Winston. And this one taken in by Olave. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They're indeed going. It's Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. So we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Jameis to throw it. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Here we go. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Here we go. White.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. That pass complete to Moore. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to make it 4th down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They go play action. Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again with Winston. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Off the play fake. Winston. And that will be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's Johnny Townsend to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 74 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Demario Davis there on the stop.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Got his man complete over the middle. That's more. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
11.
Garoppolo. And it'll be caught in the end zone for the Carolina touchdown by DJ Moore. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Panthers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a bit.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Well, still throwing here with a big 3rd quarter lead, but that time this defense gets a measure of revenge.
One of the few positive moments they've had on either side of the football, really. Things have definitely not gone their way, but maybe their offense can seize on this and put some points on the board.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. On the run, this will be Anderson. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll him behind the line. That second down play nets a -4.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Play action. Garoppolo rolling to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Gonzalez's kick is good. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future? The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Panthers. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Garoppolo. Touchdown, Panthers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Panthers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, and all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it will sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A solid stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
From the 27, Winston on the check down. He finds Kamara. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man, Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport stay.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
And now here's another interception. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Well,
Partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
Yeah, and I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
91 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history that...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No stopping Peyton Turner on that sack. He would not be denied.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action. But that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Now back to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Wait.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Winston.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Fourth down, Winston. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. On first down, this is McCaffrey.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
13 yards, first down, Panthers.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
And not a good return at all. Down inside the 10, all the way back at the 7.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20.
46 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On first and 10, Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And as you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, and this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Carolina, they at least get the win.
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls.